story time about when I went to Miami. Now, I went to Miami only one time this year. So last year when I went to Miami was in October, and I went on a spur of the moment girls trip, and it was me and my friend, and we literally booked our flight for like $20 plus bags. Like, how could you not go somewhere for $20? We booked our flight for $20 plus bags, and we booked our hotel, and this was all literally done the night before, like maybe 2 days before going. Like, it was super spur of the moment, and it was probably my best Miami trip. Yeah, I want to share this story because I feel like I have never been comfortable enough to share it until now. I mean, not even now. Like, I've been wanting to share it. Like, I wanted to reach a certain goal before I shared it. Haven't quite made it to that goal at all. But I still want to share it. So we went to Miami, and we wanted to go out. So when you want to go out in Miami, you basically just have a promoter, and they take you out. Like, they don't physically take you out. Like, you meet them at wherever you're going that night, and they get you in for free. And then depending on who your promoter is, you have a section. We had went out, and it was like kind of like a embarrassing situation. I mean, it wasn't even embarrassing, but we like ended up leaving the club, and we were like walking down the street, and we were being followed by like this homeless guy. And so we thought it was scary and creepy, and so I was like, okay, let's go into this store. It was a CVS, so it was like a normal store. It wasn't like one of those random stores. I was like, let's go into this store, and so then he can't follow us. Like, if he follows us in here, like, there's people here. Like, so we went into the store, and it was so weird. And he followed us in. The dude followed us in. He got kicked out. We go outside, dude's still there, and we're like kind of just walking super quick in like the opposite direction of the dude. So while doing that, we meet the plug. Now, this was the most unsafe thing to do ever in life. Like, I recognize that. I don't need anyone to tell me this. But the dude was like, yeah, so we were literally like kids with candy, like wanting, like the kids that they get with the candy, that was us. He was like, yeah, so, you know, I do this and I do that, and like, here, let me get you to my club. And my friend just starts following along, like, whoop-de-doo. She accepted the candy, and I'm just sitting here like, oh my gosh. Like, I was like, never is she following him. Never are we about to follow him. And I couldn't like verbally say it to her because I didn't want to be rude. But when I tell you, I was so aware of my surroundings, like, because I literally thought I was going to, I didn't think I was going to die, but I just was like, oh my goodness, like, this is not a safe situation. So I like texted my friends back home, and I'm like, this is what I'm doing. If I text this, or if like I accidentally, like, this is what's going on. Because I was seriously like, never are we following this stranger. But he did end up taking us to a club. The best section that night, it was some rapper. I don't know who he was. And it was just cool. Like, it was cool. And I gotta go. This story will be continued, like, not today. So I'll be wearing something else when I continue this story. I gotta go. Bye. Alright, so continuing my story, I don't know where I left. And we had like the best section. And we were just chilling. Like, I don't know, it was just a cool night. So that night we met some party promoter. I don't know who he was. That my friend got in contact with because her friend told her about him, and we met him, and basically apparently they were talking about me, having a whole conversation about how I was fat. So let me tell you, I am spoiled. I spoil myself if no one else spoils me. I get what I want. I do what I want. That's just the type of person I am. So when I heard that I wasn't being accepted, we'll just say accepted, but when I heard I was being judged solely off of the fact that I was a little bit heavier, I was heavier then than I am now. That was probably the heaviest I've ever been in my life. Maybe. I don't know. But it really like hurt. Like I didn't, okay, so then let me just get my story straight. So apparently that's what they were talking about. I had no idea. My friend was kind of just playing it cool, like whatever. But a different night, the next night we went, the person that we met the first night that we were in Miami invited us to go to Story again that night. So we went to Story, and she like, well, we went to, that was a whole story. Wow. We went to Story, but it was a whole story. We had Story, and we got to Story, first of all, we got to Story late. So when you're going with the party promoter, they want you there at like 11:30. They want you there like mad early. And like I said, well, I didn't say this in this video, but places don't close until like 4 o'clock. So they wanted us there at like 11:30, which was early. And we got there like after midnight probably. And because we had went to the other place first. And they weren't letting anyone in. But then he's like, okay, I can get you guys in. So he knew that it was both of us, but then apparently had texted my friend talking about, no, she can't come. She's too big. She won't be able to fit in this section. That hurt my feelings. Like, I am not gonna lie. And maybe it's so good that I don't live out there because people are so cutthroat and ruthless. But that seriously hurt my feelings. Like, my feelings were mad hurt. Like, she's too big. She won't be able to fit in the section. Listen to me, my friends. I promise you, like, I was bigger then than I am now, and then, like, but I've seen way bigger than I was. Like, way bigger. Like, way bigger. So I'm sitting here like so taken back because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm obese. Like, my feelings were big. Like, they were so hurt, and they were even hurt. Like, I feel like I was hurt more also because like there's this whole side text conversation going on about how I can't fit into this section because I'm too big. Okay. And then she's talking to this girl that I'm not even friends with, that I've known like I've known her, I don't want to say my whole life, but I've known her for such a long time, about me. And that made me uncomfortable. That just made me uncomfortable because it's just like, okay, everyone's talking about me, but nobody's saying anything to my face. And it's like, I'm on vacation, so it's not like I can just leave the whole situation. Like, I can't just be like, okay, I'm done with this. Well, I mean, I could have done that, but it's not like I'm gonna fly home. Like, you know? So I was just so offended. I was so offended. Like, that really messed up myself. I'm not even gonna lie. That messed up my self-esteem. Like, I was really, like, butthurt about that for a good minute. Because it was one of those situations where it's like, okay, obviously I see myself gaining weight. Like, I know I'm gaining weight. I didn't had just moved, but I was, like, adjusting to, like, moving into my own place and making sure I can afford bills, and just making sure that I'm like, this is the first time I've ever been alone, like on my own, paying my own bills and doing my own stuff. So getting a gym membership was like in the back of my mind. I was like, I need to get a gym membership, but it was like, I can't afford a gym membership. Like, so I was so offended. My feelings were so hurt. And so she had told me that he had said, I can't get into this section because I won't fit. And like, when I think about that, I think about the people who go on airplanes, and it's like, I don't shame anyone, but like, somebody might be like, oh, I don't want to sit next to them because I won't have any space. Like, when I sit in an airplane seat, my whole body fits in there. I can buckle up. I can go on roller coasters and buckle up fine. Like, you know, so I'm just sitting there like, wow, like, I'm really a chunk. Like, I'm just a chunk. Okay, that's who I am, a fat girl. Like, my feelings were so hurt. And then I kind of like, I didn't go off on my friend, but like, and her and I are so similar where like, she'll go off on me and I'll go off on her, and like 2 seconds later, like, we're good. Like, just give me my space, leave me alone. But I was like, oh my goodness, like, why wouldn't you tell me this? And she just didn't want to hurt my feelings, okay? So, like, understandable, you don't want to hurt my feelings. But she's like, but do you want me, she's like, but I mean, do you want me to tell you about why we couldn't go to blah blah? And I was like, what? He said you were too big. I was so hurt. Like, I'm not gonna lie, my feelings were so hurt that I literally told my best friend, I was like, well, I told my friend at the time, I was like, I am going back to Miami, I'm gonna be skinny mini. Like, I think that's when I learned that people can be so mean. Like, obviously I knew people could be mean, but people weren't ever really mean to me, and I'm such a, I just don't care. Like, I'm like the type of person who I really don't care. Like, if you say something ignorant to me, I'm gonna tell you you're ignorant. Like, I will call you out. Like, that was so ignorant. But like, I was so hurt. Like, and I don't know if it's because I didn't have no power. Like, because now I'm thinking and processing it. Like, why were you so hurt? Because you didn't have power to change a situation. Like, I like also being in control of things. And that was like, I can't make you say yes. And like, it's not like we were asking them to say yes at the time, but it was just one of those situations where it's like, oh, okay, you said it, so it must be true. So yeah, I can't believe I'm sharing this story, because that's actually like very like sensitive. Like, that's very sensitive. Like, because I tell you, I was really hurt. Like, my feelings were really hurt. And after we came back home, my feelings were still very, very, very hurt. And that happened in October. I lost 25 pounds. I lost more than that. Like, right before summer hit, my uncle passed away and I gained some weight back. Now I'm like maintaining the weight that I'm at / losing weight. But I'm not as heavy as I was. Like, I have not gone back there, which is awesome. But I don't know, like, that was just like, my feelings were just big hurt. Like, you can lose weight, but if you have a crap personality, it takes so much more effort and energy to like change your mindset and to change how you act and change how you interact with other people and how you treat other people. Like, that takes so much time and so much effort and so much self-reflection and just a lot. But you can lose weight like this. I lost 25 pounds in 2 months. How? Don't know. It happened. I was eating. I was just exercising. So like I said, if I wanted to be skinny right now, I could really be skinny. I just like food. And I'm not even fat. I'm not fat, so don't try to play me. If I ever saw Aaron again, I'd literally go off on him. And he doesn't, I remember his name, Aaron, story. And I remember his name, I remember exactly what he looks like. He would not remember me at all. If he saw me, I'd look different. And he'd still let me into the section. And I'd still go into the section. I'd still have a good time. And then at the end of it, I'd be like, so you don't remember me, but remember when you fat shamed me? You remember that? Oh, okay. All right. Because it's just like, just be careful how you treat people. Just be careful. Because sometimes you could really say something that affects some, like, that affected me. I was like, dang, like, I was really like sad. I was like, dang, I ain't nothing. Like, I'm obese. Like, I'm fat. I was just so sad. I was like, oh, okay, bet. I ain't gonna deal with you. God will deal with you. I ain't gonna do it. But that was just a reminder that, first of all, that just showed me like, wow, people are so judgmental. And I mean, I judge people, but I'm way more careful about why and how, even though I shouldn't be judging them at all. But I'm not going to judge you by the way you look. Like, obviously, if I'm not attracted to you, I probably most likely won't, like, want to be in, like, a relationship or something like that with you. But, again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So somebody I think is cute, my friend might think is ugly. People look at me and one think I'm mean, and I'm, like, probably, I can be so nice. I'm probably the nicest and most generous person you might come across. Apparently, I'm hilarious. I get that all the time, and it makes me wonder, like, should I be a comedian? No. I would be terrible at that. Like, just through conversation, like, I am funny for real. I be cracking myself up. But it's like, you would have never known that because you thought I was fat and you said no. And the thing is like, obviously, like, I'm not trying to be none of y'all friends. Like, I'm just trying to get into the section so I can sit down. Like, for real. Like, just for real. I'm trying to, for real, every time I'm in a section, it's because I want to sit down. I hate standing up at the club. Like, I'm just being honest. Like, if there's VIP, that's where I need to be. Last weekend, we also, one of 2 Chainz's friends, 2 Chainz was there. Really, we didn't really see any famous people for real that weekend. No. But 2 Chainz was at Story that night. And I love 2 Chainz, let me tell you. So we were like, that was, and the thing was, is like, so we went out with Aaron, and we were with him. And then he had left to go see Karrueche. And 2 Chainz walked in, like, eventually. And his 2 Chainz friend pulled me aside and he was like, hey, you want to come in and, like, get some Douce? And I was like, sure. And Douce is, actually, I don't remember what Douce tasted like, but that's the first and last time I've had Douce, was 2 Chainz's Douce. And my friend was basically pointing out, like, he asked you. Like, he didn't ask her. He didn't ask these people. Like, he was just like, hey, you. And that was that. And then we, like, left. But I'm back. I'm confident. You can't tell me nothing. Like, I'm cute for real. I was cute for real then. Ever. Don't ever, ever, don't ever try to play me. Ever. Like that ever again. None of y'all. Because I, honestly, I'll go, like, I'm not Jasmine from October. I'll literally go off on you. I won't cuss at you or anything, but I'll be like, do you know who I am? I'm a queen. Try again. Try again. I'm a queen. So yeah, that's that story. If you like that story, let me know. I really do have like a bomb story, but it's just so dramatic. One more story about Miami, and it would be about my October trip. It's just so dramatic, and it's not even a, it's a whole story, y'all. And I just, it hasn't been a year, has it? It hasn't been a year. I don't know if I should tell it. It's not like bad or anything. It's just so dramatic. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I like telling stories, so if you want to hear another story, I gotta think of one. But like, comment, and subscribe. 2 thumbs up.